حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر ولله الحمد
الله أكبر كبيرا والحمد لله كثيرا وسبحان الله وبحمده بكرة وأصيلا
لا إله إلا الله
وحده صدق وعده ونصر عبده وعز جنده هزم الأحزاب وحده
لا إله إلا الله
ولا نعبد إلا إياه مخلصين له الدين ولو كره الكافرون
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر ولله الحمد
اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وعلى أصحاب سيدنا محمد وعلى أنصار سيدنا محمد وعلى أزواج سيدنا محمد وعلى ذرية سيدنا محمد وسلم تسليما كثيرا
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Islam Today here on 96.1 FM and also 900 AM on your AM dial. This is Islam Today. I want to give out the telephone numbers really early today. Telephone numbers where we can be reached today is 215-634-8065. That's 215-634-8065 or toll free at 1-866-361-0900. Some of the ways that you can check out this show: we are streaming live on Wurd Radio, on Facebook, also on Twitter, Instagram. You can also check us out on the UMM Facebook page as well as the Islam Today Facebook page. We have a really great show in store for you today. Before we do anything, we'd like to open up with prayer as we always do. We pray and we ask Almighty God, Allah, to bless us. We pray that the words that come out of our mouths today can be a healing message for mankind. We believe that this religion of Islam is a healing for all humanity. We believe that this religion of Islam was sent to Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, the last and final messenger to come for all mankind. We believe that this religion of Islam can help us in so many ways, be it family life, business, education, just life in general. We believe and we thank Almighty God, Allah, for all the beautiful and wonderful prophets that he has sent to us. And we thank him tremendously for Prophet Muhammad. Peace and blessings be upon him, our last and final messenger to come for all mankind. Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak, and welcome to Islam Today. This is a 25-year tradition here in the city of Philadelphia. This is also the 9th day of Ramadan. We are doing very well out there, family. We are on our 9th day of fasting. So today, call us up. Share thoughts with us, how your fast is going, because this is a fast like any other fast that we have ever done. This is a personal, one-on-one fast. It's a fast between you and the Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let us know how it feels, because many of the masjids across the city, the country, they're closed. We cannot really go to the masjid and do what we tend to normally do during Ramadan. Most of the nights are spent praying and preparing the food for iftars and getting ready for the night prayers. As you notice, this is not happening not just in Philadelphia, but it's not happening throughout the country, perhaps throughout the world. I know it's definitely a shock for many of us, but I believe that there is hope, without a doubt. I have so much hope in us as individuals and as families. This is a great and it's a opportunity to come together with your families and make the prayers. Make the Fajr prayer in the home with your family. Make the Dhuhr prayer. Make the Asr prayer. Break your fast. Pray your Maghrib prayer. Pray your Taraweeh prayer with your family in Isha prayer. If this is something that you've never done, if you never ever prayed the Taraweeh prayer, recite from what you know and stand with your family and make the Taraweeh prayer. It's different. It's very much different. We're so used to going to the masjid, breaking our fast. We're so used to going to the masjid and preparing the iftar for the people that will be coming to the masjid. It's different. It's very much different. I think it's a good difference. Just look at yourself. I had a conversation with someone today, and they really expressed to me the importance of getting closer to Allah, getting to know Allah. And I believe the more we as believers get to know Allah, it will give us a better understanding of who we are. Don't get angry. Try not to cuss. Don't fuss, because people will upset you. It's a natural thing as human beings, but don't lose the fast. Hold on to your fast. That's important. Holding on to your fast is essential to your well-being. It's essential to preserving that relationship that all of us are striving to have with our Creator. The beautiful thing about the fast is that it's a one-on-one thing. It's a one-on-one obligation that you have to the Creator of the heavens and the earth. So call us up today, share your experiences. Telephone number is 215-634-8065. That's 215-634-8065, or toll free at 1-866-361-0900. Now, I know I said that we aren't able to go to the masjids and help and prepare food, but I see an abundance of people that are doing this new thing. There's a new thing going on now, the curbside iftars. And I see so many people throughout the city posting on social media about the curbside iftars. Now, I'm taking that to be, you pull up, you get your food, and you roll out, because we're still trying to maintain the social distance and things of that nature, because we are dealing with the coronavirus right now. Although the weather is very good out there today, it doesn't mean that you should stop the social distance. You should continue that. And if you have your mask, wear your mask as much as possible, because we don't want to spread the virus. We definitely don't want to spread this virus that's out there today. So we got a really great show in store for you today. I'm going to have two people that's going to start off the conversation with us today, two very extraordinary people. And when I think about these two individuals, they are definitely movers and shakers here in the city of Philadelphia. One on the political side, one on the feeding side. And just yesterday, there was a very beautiful program that took place yesterday afternoon at the Philadelphia Masjid. And we're going to have the person that was responsible for that. She's going to be joining us, And we're going to be joined with a brother who's been on this show many a times, and he's responsible for making sure that people are getting fed throughout the nights, throughout throughout the month of Ramadan. So I know I said that, there are not per se meals being served at the masjid, but indeed there are programs that are going on where people are being able to eat. So at this time, I want to go to the phone line, and we're going to be joined by two very beautiful people and dear to me. The first person is the executive director of Muslim Serve, Brother Abdul Kaiwi, and the next person is the founder and executive director of the Philadelphia Ramadan and Eid Fund organization, Salima Suswell. And I want to greet both of you by saying Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak.
What did you have?
That's kind of nice. Y'all said it in harmony together. And welcome. I want to welcome both of you beautiful people to the show. I want to start off with Abdul Kawi, my brother. I've interviewed you so many times, and we've talked about feeding people and feeding people being your passion. And you stepped it up this year, brother. You definitely stepped it up this Ramadan. And I want you to share with the listening audience just exactly the Meals on Wheels that you are helping to provide throughout the city of Philadelphia with the Muslim Serve organization.
Alhamdulillah, we are actually partnering with the Philadelphia Masjid and Dr. Shekhtar here to provide these meals for people throughout the city. And it ain't a grab and go, it's a delivery service as well. Most of the people are getting the meals brought to them. They don't even got to leave their home. We played a major part in raising funds to get these people the meals that are so needed, especially in this COVID environment. People still got to eat. People still fasting. People still hungry.
Definitely. Now share with us. Now you said it's a delivery. So how's that quite working? Because that's a lot of deliveries to make throughout the city of Philadelphia.
Well, there's a army of volunteers along with people behind the scenes that put everything together to make sure that this happens. Unfortunately, the list for this is full at the time. There's a waiting list. But there's a lot of people being fed every night for the month of Ramadan.
So approximately about how many meals are you preparing and that's being delivered throughout the city of Philadelphia? And not just the city of Philadelphia, because I was told just the other night that there are people that are coming to Philadelphia to pick up food from the southern part of New Jersey.
Yes, actually, those aren't hot meals, though. The boxes are being picked up and taken to South Jersey, but the hot meals are basically here in Philadelphia with the army of volunteers that we have through Philadelphia Masjid and Shekhtar here in
This is great, brother. This is great, and it's a very beautiful and excellent program that you're doing. And tell everyone very briefly about the history of Muslim Serve and exactly what it is that you do with Muslim Serve.
Okay, Muslim Serve is a hunger relief organization that was started back in 2012 by Dr. Hamza Sheikh and his wife. They fed some people at Logan Square, and the food went so fast that they knew that this was something that had to be done frequently. So they decided to go to the local masjid, which was United Muslim Masjid, and they spoke with the imam at the time, which was Shadid Muhammad, and he directed them to the Amir, which was Qasim. Qasim directed them to Kashif and Sister Antasar, who heads up Quams, and we all got together and started feeding people from UMIC. We started with one site, and each site came on till we are up to 17 sites. And, we just trying to combat hunger in our region. Our goal is to do acts to support our area while encouraging community members to come together to fight hunger.
That's a great thing, brother. That is a great thing. And you have now taken on the responsibility. You are the executive director of Muslim Serve. How long have you been the executive director?
I've been the executive director for Muslim Serve for 5 years now. You know, alhamdulillah, this is a passion that I have. You know, I do this thing day in and day out. You know, real quick, I want to shout out to my wife because I can't do what I do as an executive director if she don't do what she needs to do at home with my family. So I want to shout out my wife, Shahida Ellis. And I really love doing what I do. I love helping people. I love partnering with people like the sister that we have on the phone, Sister Salima as well.
That's great. You know what they say, brother, behind every great man there's a great woman. So shout out to your wife and your family for sticking behind you and helping you work through it. You know, my history with you and knowing you throughout the many years that we've known each other is that you guys are like a team. You know, we don't, it's rare that we don't see your wife out there on the grill, out on the front line with you, preparing food and getting the food ready. So tremendously, you guys do great work here in the community and throughout the tri-state area. Now I want to just talk we want to switch gears. We want to talk to Sister Salima Suswell. Now, everyone who does not know Salima, if you ever came out to the big gigantic, I like to call it the big Eid that we had out in the park last year, it was probably one of the best Eids that I have attended in my life as being a Muslim. And I think we had at least 15,000 plus people who came out to the park, and tremendous, beautiful feeling that was going on that day. The Philly Eid in the park. Unfortunately, there will not be a Philly Eid in the park this year. So Sister Salima, Assalamu alaikum, she's joining us now, everyone.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. First I want to say, I think that every time I come on this show, I always listen to you intro us, and I just need to say, Brother Jihad, I love that you are humble, but, you know, Abdul Kawi and I both know that you are running around with your boots on the ground. And yesterday when we did our the Philadelphia Ramadan and Eid Fund in partnership with Muslim Serve, we did our very first Ramadan produce spots and halal meat distribution out of the Philadelphia Masjid on yesterday. And so, Jihad, I just want to publicly thank you because you always show up for me. You're running around giving elders boxes, bringing them to their cars, and, you know, one day I'm going to have a show and bring you on as my guest and talk about how wonderful you are because, alhamdulillah, you keep this great show thriving and you bring us on and you help to share the stories of the Muslims all around the year. And may Allah suffice you. Amen.
Ameen, ameen, ameen.
Alhamdulillah. So what we're doing is the Philadelphia Ramadan Eid Fund, it's just what it is. We're serving communities across the city and Commonwealth, if you will, around Ramadan and Eid. It's just started as something that, you know, a group of Muslims, we got together. We started doing the City Hall Iftar that you used to attend annually also. In partnership, it was led by Councilman Curtis Jones Jr. and Ryan Boyer and myself, and we did it great at City Hall for almost 10 years, and we kind of got too big to be able to fit into the mayor's reception hall, and so we're just continuing the work. We've been working to get these holidays recognized because what I have found is that, you know, socially as Muslims, I know we work very hard often, but these social experiences around Ramadan and Eid, it keeps us together, it keeps us unified, it allows us the opportunity to spend time with one another and fellowship. And so what we are all doing right now, Jihad, myself, Brother Abdul Kawi, and everyone who helps us with our organizations and efforts, we're trying to serve the same needs. This year it's very different. You know, one of the highlights of Ramadan and Eid is the aspect of communal gathering and the offering of charitable meals or, you know, just the things that we do. We give charity and we have to observe social distancing because of coronavirus. We have elders and family members who are dying from coronavirus and other things, and we can't even pray janazah for them. These are our common practices, and not just during Ramadan. This is our way of life. And so what all of us are doing is we're trying to maintain the spirit of Ramadan and trying to serve the Muslims. With 1/3 of the city of Philadelphia's population identifies as Muslim. This is a stat that our mayor, Jim Kinney, often says when he approaches stages and addresses our community. And so that's a really, really, really large part of the city, and there's a loss when they're so used to every single night during Ramadan having a meal offering at any masjid in the city. And so with organizations like Muslim Serve and the Philadelphia Ramadan and Eid Fund and Kari and so many people across the city, Match to the Law is doing phenomenal. You know, so many people are just trying to fulfill the need and keep the spirit of Ramadan going and support the families, inshallah.
Because there's definitely a need to help the people that are in need of food. You know, as you said, going to the masjid and looking forward to that food. I know myself, for many years, that's what you do. You fast all day, and then after you fast, you go to the masjid, you break your fast, and there's tons of food there. Any masjid in the city, for the most part, has some food for you to eat. So this is a very trying time for the community at large. It definitely is a trying time for the community at large.
Absolutely. And just like you said, Jihad, very important. You can go to the masjid and there's a meal, but even before you get to your meal, there is the congregational prayer with your brothers and your sisters. We work all day. We see each other at the masjid. We see each other at the masjid. This is a huge loss, you know, and so we want to comfort the Muslims, and not just Muslims, but all families, because if you're in the city of Philadelphia and you are not a Muslim, you have a family member that is. And so this is the entire city of Philadelphia's issue. It's you know, we had people who showed up at Philadelphia Masjid yesterday who are not of the Muslim faith or observing Ramadan, and they said, the one woman walked up to me and said, sister, I am not a Muslim, but I'm hungry.
That's right. That's right.
I need food. Is it okay? Am I allowed to get a produce box? And I said, absolutely. We are Muslims. We serve all of mankind. And that's a dawah moment. And the sister, she wanted to grab and hug me. The security wouldn't let her. They said, no social distancing is excused. But I gave her an elbow pump and said, sis, we got you. You know what I mean? That's what this is. You know, this is a time for us to reflect. As Muslims, the reminder benefits the believer. And so this is a time that we should all pause. It's the holy month of Ramadan. It's a reminder for us to do our best and to be our best. And so, listen, you can hear in my voice, I'm losing my voice. I barely sleep during Ramadan. But if it means that we're going to serve the people, that is the spirit of Ramadan. That is the spirit of Al-Islam. And I love to do it. And I love that all of our neighbors are elected leaders. The whole city, it's a collaborative effort. And I'm just so excited about everything that everyone is doing. Allahu Akbar.
You know, I want to, and Abdul Kawi can also bear witness to this. When you mentioned yesterday feeding people that are not of the Islamic faith, there was a Caucasian man that would come to United Muslim Masjid down in South Philly, and he would pop up on a bike every day. He did not pray with us, but what he would do, he would come and he would respectfully wait to the side till we finished praying, and we would always give him food. He knew every day at that time to come and get food. And as you said, this is the job of us as Muslims. We have to be able to, we're inviting people to the oneness of God. We feeding them. We're trying our best to give them a really good understanding what the religion is about. And I think feeding a person, because feeding somebody is important. Food is important. Helping somebody get those nourishments in their body is so, so important. What we're going to do, I want you guys to stay with us, because in a few minutes I'm going to be joined by another special guest of ours. We're going to go to him very briefly in a couple minutes, but what I want to do, I want to get to these callers that's been waiting very patiently. We're going to go to Brother Hamza, who's calling. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the show. Hamza, are you there? Hamza, going once, going twice. Okay, we're going to go to Brother Labik Jake from Olney. Assalamu alaikum, brother Labek Jake.
Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Kareem, brother. How are you?
Tahid Alhamdulillah.
Good, good.
You know, part of the fast of Ramadan is to read the Holy Quran, right? We read the 30th of the Quran a day, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I read in that one of the sections where Allah instructs us, the Muslims, do not divide yourself up into sects, right? I'm sure you read that too, right?
Yes.
Okay, now, because I hear people keep talking about the different sects that claim Islam. My question to you is to your knowledge, is there any Islam other than what was taught by the Prophet Muhammad, to whom the Quran was revealed over 1,400 years ago?
Well,
You know?
I'm going to say this, brother Jacob. I think what I'd like to do, I'd like to hold that topic to another day, and we can dedicate a whole show to exactly what you're talking about. Okay. Thank you, my brother. I just want to try to keep it in the groove of.
I feel you, but I mean, this is Ramadan, and it's the Islamic program, right?
I got you.
That's
I got you.
Alhamdulillah.
Thank you, brother.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wake Saddam. That's a good question, but let's take that question on another day because there's so much that we got to talk about, and I want to be mindful and respectful because I do have another guest that is waiting. We have brother Amin Abdul-Jabbar on the line. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the show. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show. He's not there? Okay. Well, anyway, so Abdul Kawi, basically, you're going to continue what you're doing as it relates to feeding the people the remaining days of Ramadan, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
We're also going to be doing more events with the Ramadan produce boxes with the dates and the halal meats as well. We're going to be partnering with several people throughout the month of Ramadan to feed the people, inshallah.
So the event yesterday that took place at the Philadelphia Masjid, the giving away of the food, you were involved with that as well too, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. And I want to thank Muslim Serve, and I'm so glad you're a very smart man, Brother Abdul Kawi, for mentioning your lovely wife, Shaida, because she definitely keeps me strong through all of this. This is something that I do, you know, during Ramadan and Eid. I was my first produce distribution, and it was hard. If you guys are doing this every single day, you know, every week, and you guys, if your whole organization is built around this, and you're helping so many people. I don't know if you read the Tribune's article that came out, but you have testimonials of people who came in and shared their stories about what their families were going through and how it helps them to get these meals and the food. And mashallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase you guys and allow you to continue to do the great work that you do. And guys, when you see us posting this stuff, this time, the first day, we were organizing all the boxes and we just posted. I thought of this last Saturday, and shout out to State Representative Morgan Cephas. She texted me and saw some of the coverage. I was on the Fox 29 talking about our e-basket drive, and she said, let me know how I can help. And I said, well, even before Eid, we have to help the Muslims during Ramadan. And over the weekend, there were a couple calls made, and by Monday, the Share Food Program called me and said, we have pallets. Where can we drop them off? And they just started dropping. I had to find a space for all the food that they wanted to give us. It was just as simple as making a few phone calls, talking about the need of the Muslims during Ramadan. So that's what I mean about the communal spirit of Ramadan. It's continuing to transcend, and we're doing the necessary work that we need to do to take care of the people. And it's organizations like Muslim Serve that really is showing the way. When I wanted to do it, I knew that I had to call them, and it wasn't very hard. I called them, and they were right there, and we couldn't have done it without them. So, alhamdulillah, thank you to Muslim Serve, and definitely the Share Food Program, State Representative Morgan Cephas, and all the elected leaders. Sheriff Rochelle Balau, who came and handed out ballots and greeted all of the Muslims and spent time with us for most of the time, and just made us all feel safe and warm, and it was just amazing. It feels good. People were happy, and that's what we want as well, because people are dying. people are sick. People are afraid. You understand? Especially the Muslims. We can't come together, hug on each other, and that's a big part of Ramadan and everything that we do as Muslims as well, and that's meaningful to us. We're comforting them by giving them food and love and letting them know we're thinking about you and we care. And we're going to continue doing it, inshallah.
Now, I know, Salima, you have another feeding event that's going to take place. Want to give us the location and the date?
I can give you the date. It will be on Friday, May 15th, inshallah, between 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock p.m. once again. I do not want to announce the location just yet because I am going to announce it through the page on Monday. I just want to make sure that we have the details on the location firm before I do that. But either way, there will always be opportunities for folks to pre-register. Let us know in advance if you can't get to us. Brother Jihad again, and a lot of the other brothers, they were delivering, to folks. Whatever you need, email us, contact@phillyEidinthepark.org. We're servicing the Muslims. I know that Abdul Kawi has a contact as well. Let us know what you need. Let us know how we're doing and what we could be doing to improve and to, serve.
Yes, exactly. And you're going to end the month with a special event that you're doing. If you want to talk about that, you can.
I'm going to talk about it briefly because we have some special surprises. But what we are doing is the Philadelphia Ramadan and Eid Fund, Eid al-Fitr, Meals on Wheels, and Family Fund. And so what it is that we are doing, we are partnering with Southside Zabiha Halal Eatery, one of our premier halal catering services and restaurants in the city of Philadelphia. And what we will be doing is delivering to 100 households across the city of Philadelphia a full dinner to feed up to a family of 10. We will bring them Eid dinner, but also a deluxe Eid basket with family games and toys and Eid decorations. And one of our donors, I can say because I have announced it, ShopRite, has given for 50 of our baskets $50 food vouchers that they could spend in any ShopRite stores. And so these baskets are pretty dope. If I wasn't making them, I would want one myself. So they're packed with things, and we have some surprises. We're delivering them, and we have some surprise guests that are going to deliver with us. And so that program is pretty contained. We opened it the first weekend of Ramadan for registration. And this one is fun. It's engaging because since it's limited because of the way we're doing it, we can only serve 100 households across the city. But that's for up to a family of 10. So even with that, we're serving 1,000 individuals, inshallah. And we're bringing them an Eid festival to their home. We had to cancel, unfortunately, the Philadelphia Eid in the Park Festival, but we're going to bring them dinner and festivities and fun and Eid decorations to their home so they can enjoy it comfortably and safely while they're maintaining social distancing with their family, inside of their home. So,
that's great.
And so I'm very excited about that. And for that one, it's somewhat of a context. Folks are telling us a story about their family.
Okay.
What does Ramadan Eid mean to you? So it's very interactive and it's great.
Well, I thank you guys so very much. And I want everybody to go to Sister Salima's, go to her Facebook page. And this is a funny joke between her and I. I want you to look at this video interview that she did on Fox 29. It was a very funny video because they did it on Zoom and they had prepped her the day before. And the guy, Mike Jarrett, the reporter, he was like trying to cut her off saying, that's it, we got to go, time's up. And she was still going on. She kind of almost did the same thing today.
It was funny. It was funny. I couldn't hear what he was saying, and I needed to plug my sponsor, so I was going.
You almost did the same thing here today. I want to thank both of you for taking the time out your Ramadan afternoon today. The weather's beautiful. Go outside, walk around, be in safe distance, wear your mask. But thank you for joining us today. I thank y'all so very much.
Thank you for having us. Assalamu alaikum to you.
Wa alaikum salam.
Much. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Abdul Kawi.
Yes.
If anybody would want to make a donation to help offset some of the things that you're doing, very quickly, can you tell them how they can get in contact with you?
MuslimServe.org. Muslims with an S. one word, MuslimServe.org.
Okay. Thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you.
All right. Assalamu alaikum. So if you can't you can't get to the masjid, it's just not happening this month. It's not going to happen. What I want you to do, I want you to get in contact with Muslim Serve. I want you to get in contact with Salima Suswell. I want you to get in contact with your local masjid. Donate. All the masjids in the city of Philadelphia, they're in need. They're in need of your financial support right now. They're used to getting the charity money that comes through every day or on Fridays at the congregational prayer. That money is not coming in. Get in contact with your masjids. Find some type of way. Find out their Cash App information. Financially support the institutions that have always been there for you. This is a time when we all have to come together and help one another. What I want to do right now, I want to go back to the phone line because I'm so excited. This brother, this young brother, I've known him for so many years. Dedicated father, dedicated husband, dedicated individual in the Muslim community. And I am so very happy when I found out that he had took on the responsibility as the new resident imam of Masjid Allah in the West Oak Lane city of Philadelphia. I was happy, and we were trying to put this interview together so many times. So I want to bring to the airwaves, not for the first time, but the first time as the resident imam of Masjid Allah, my good friend, Idris Abdul Zahir. Imam Idris Abdul Zahir, I should say. Assalamu alaikum, my brother, and Ramadan Mubarak.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ramadan Mubarak.
How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm good, bro. Just been really, it's been a whirlwind over the last week and a half, and perhaps it extended out to the month and a half or so. Just a lot of busy activity, and trying to take care of all the things that we take care of at the masjid, but also being active in the community. So it's been a really unprecedented time.
Yo, man, I don't want to say you picked a heck of a time to get chosen as the resident, but brother, you took on the responsibility as the resident imam of the, I'm about to say the United Muslim Masjid of Masjid Allah. Brother, I mean, like, could it been a tougher time for you? Like, not just the responsibility of making sure the prayers are getting done in classes and counseling and all those things, but we get hit with the coronavirus. Now you got to make decisions with your board in regards to how the masjid would operate from day to day.
Yeah. So it's been a challenging time. A lot of these things we've never faced before. And it's happening worldwide. So it's like one of those situations where you have to really consult with the folks involved in the operation, try to come to some understanding of how we want to move forward together, and try to take care of the needs of the people. So I watched the stats from the very beginning, learned a whole lot about the virus in general, and tried to make the right decisions at the right times to try and keep people safe, and also just to make sure that we come out of this, okay, inshallah. So yeah, it's been crazy, man. And then just trying to do the Jumu'ahs and the Ta'aleems and the Janazas. I mean, that's the most challenging one, I think, because people have when a loved one passed away. I mean, as Muslims, we want to be there. We want to show up and be accounted for and be present. And in this present, condition, or this present thing that's going on here, we have to, respect what our health officials are telling us to try and keep people safe. And that was probably one of the hardest things that we had to do, because, I'm one of those people where, like, we really show up for the janazas and try to be there for, our loved ones and make sure they get their rights, and also pray for them. So, very, very, yes. So very, very talented time, man.
One of the things that I love about you, brother, you're very humble, man, and a very good brother. I can't emphasize that enough, man. I mean, throughout the years, you've helped me numerous times, and I just want to get your thoughts, man, because I know you as a cool guy, a family guy, a film, a media guy, but now you're the imam. Now you're the imam of the masjid. So you're like the cool cat imam, as far as I'm concerned, in the masjid, because to me you bring a certain type of flavor. You didn't go away abroad to study. You're in house, and I think what you represent is the fact that I see many communities wanting to do what Masjid Allah has done by selecting someone from within.
Yeah, man. So, you know, mashallah. I mean, it's one of those things that, you know, my father, you know, is a well-respected imam. You know, my father-in-law is a well-respected imam. His father-in-law before him was a well-respected imam. You know, and my brother-in-law is another well-respected imam. So I did not want to be an imam at all, at all. But you know, Allah has other plans, man. You know, and as I look back over my life, you know, I grew up in an environment, you know, learning from my father, you know, learning from, you know, my family, you know, some of my earliest times, you know, back in high school and all was with now Dr. Tahir Wyatt. And you know, I credit him for, you know, during my teenage years, we really bonded and, you know, really started to take the religion seriously. And we did a whole lot at Central High School to establish ourselves and establish Islam. You know, and then another one of my good friends, Brother Ali Davis, or Imam Ali Davis, you know, we were at Central together as well. And we actually, you know, brought him down to UMM to take his shahada during, I think it was our senior year.
Wow.
So as I look back over my life, you know, it's one of those situations where you realize you don't want to do it, you're running away from it, but Allah is already preparing you for it. And put me in a situation where, you know, I really couldn't say no. So I'm going to do the best job I can, you know, as long as I can, and try to serve the community.
That's good, brother. It seems like they made you an offer you couldn't refuse, man. I want to ask you though, you know, not just being responsible for yourself, your family. Now you're responsible for a whole community. You got, when you make decisions now about moon sighting and fasting and classes and who's going to give the Juma, the direction of the masjid is it's on your shoulders now, brother. How you taking all this in, man? What's your means of being able to, you know, get away sometime and just be Idris, not Imam Idris, but brother Idris?
Yeah, so you know, one of the things I try to always do, well, first off, let's deal with the responsibility part first, right? You know, in my private life, as far as my profession, I'm an IT professional, and I've led, you know, large teams of people, you know, for years now. So I'm used to leadership. I'm used to leading large, diverse teams of people towards accomplishing, you know, goals and taking care of projects and things like that. So the leadership part in working with people, you know, comes naturally when it comes to the masjid now, because I've been doing that in an official capacity for, like, you know, at least the last 8 years or so. So that part of it, you know, I'm used to, and it's just, you know, different topic or different subject. But yeah, so part of how I try to remain who I am, you know, is I don't believe the hype. You know what I mean? So as far as I'm concerned, you know, yes, you know, I'm Imam Idris now, but you know, I still know who I am, and I try not to get too caught up in, you know, the titles and the responsibility, and, you know, perhaps some of the perks that come with the position, because ultimately, man, you know, I'm trying to do what's pleasing to Allah. And, you know, we can get in these positions and, you know, work our way to Jannah or work our way to hell. So,
wow.
You know what I mean? So it's a test, you know, in a major way. You know, and I try to balance it, man, because ultimately, people, I mean, there's more phone calls like than I can answer. There's more emails than I can answer. There's more text messages than I can possibly answer. So I try to delegate as much as I can. I have a strong leadership team that I lean on to get a lot of things done. We got there's 3 events tomorrow that I have to be involved in, and for the most part, all I have to do is show up, via Zoom or via our phone line or via something else. There's a team behind me that does a lot of great stuff. And let me take a moment to shout out, our administrator, Celine Wilson, our CIO, Khalif Chestnut, and a few other folks, and I hate to do this kind of stuff because you always forget somebody's name or don't mention somebody. And
don't forget your wife.
What you later on. My wife, of course, yeah. My wife, my wife, Rakaya. I mean, man, I couldn't do any of this, man, because I have 2 young children. The community doesn't know it, but half the time, I show up places. It's after I had to, get past them to get out the house. You know what I mean? Because they're like, "Where are you going?" Stop me at the door, holding on to my leg, trying to push me back in the house. So I got to thank my daughters too, because this is impacting them as well, as far as not having that daddy-daughter time as much as they used to have it. So it's really a family effort, but also it's an organization, man. Martial Law has been doing a lot of this great work, for decades, and I'm honored that such a great organization would want me to lead them in this way. But a lot of the things, that are going on now and have been going on for years, and I'm just thankful that they found me worthy enough to be their imam.
I want to ask you, what different can we see from you? I mean, you served in the community doing Jumas and so on and so forth for a number of years, but now in this position as an imam and the responsibility, what can we see that's different from you now moving forward? Because you're younger, you have different thoughts, you may have a different vision that some may not understand, but it's a direction that you may want to go into, that you may feel as though that may help the community, that the community may have not seen or been privileged to before.
Well, man, so I try to use language of difference because I don't want to necessarily compare myself to other people or kind of do like a contrast like that. But what I offer and what I see is a major thing that we need to do. I mean, nationally and locally, a lot of the masajid, especially martial law, are visited by the older generation. And a lot of the folks my age and some younger, don't take bayat at any masjid, don't follow any leadership, don't believe in masjids, don't believe in imams, just don't believe organization at all.
Yes.
So part of what I do, man, is try to focus on what those populations need. Not to ignore, the folks that have established our organization and have been around forever. We want to still take care of their needs as well. But there's a lot of, as they say, unmasked Muslims in Philadelphia and the region. And so I want to, provide a viable alternative or a viable solution, to some of those folks. I say that because of the fact that, I was one of those people.
Yes. That,
my parents helped found martial law, years and years ago. But after some time, we went off and, got together with some like minds and, started an association called the Association of Muslim Families. And really were not involved directly with any masajid for years. And it wasn't until my father, went and was asked to become the imam at Masjid Freehaven in South Jersey that we were actually at a masjid again. But there are lots of other folks out there who don't necessarily follow any leadership. And I just want to appeal to them that, a lot of the things that we're dealing with as a community, and this is beyond Muslims at this point, because Muslims, should be beneficial, to everyone, and that's what I believe, and that's how I try to, approach it. But, when it comes to joblessness or employment, when it comes to education, when it comes to violence or safety inside of our communities, these are all things that we agree on that we all should be working on. And at the end of the day, will help our communities grow and be places of vibrance and not just places of survival. And so those are some of the things that I focus on, that, there's the ritualistic piece of Islam, and there's the actual religion, and learning the religion and propagating the religion. But there's also the social economic piece, that we sorely need in our communities, because, if you have a religion that does not address your issues, that does not address your problems, does not address or give solutions to the challenges that you face, then people, don't find that useful. And, and so Islam for me has always been a deen or a way of solutions. It's always provided something for me, whether it's the mentality to go out here and get what I need, or it's spiritual guidance, or, the rituals that give me discipline to go, discipline myself to go attack this physical world, right? So, so for me, those are the things that have paid dividends for me and my family over the years. Mm-hmm. And those are the things that I bring quite, to this situation. Time will tell if it's different or if it's, impactful. But I know for my life and for my family, this is what has allowed us to, stay sane, stay productive, and for the most part, thrive in this environment. So
yes.
Those are the things that I'm going to recommend and try to partner with everybody that's doing all those good things, because I believe those are things that will bring solutions to folks that really need them.
That's the ticket, man. I love the conversation with you today. The fact that you're talking about unity within the city, amongst the believers, amongst the masjids and the other organizations, the Muslims who don't belong to a community. Mm-hmm. A lot of times I think they get forgotten about. I was speaking to Sister Salima today, and we were talking about Muslims who may not practice like the way we think they should practice. Right. And, they need our help too, yeah. And that's very important. I think you used the term there, unmosqued, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Like where's their home? Where's the home for the people who only show up during Ramadan? Remember, we used to call them Ramadan Muslims.
Right.
And you only see them for the Eid, or you may see them on Friday. Where is the home for them? And I really believe the mission and the path that you're on, brother, and the spirit that you have is going to kind of help fulfill a lot of those voids that are here in the city, because you're homegrown. Your daddy and imam, your father-in-law, your brother-in-law, your uncle, your cousin, everybody.
Well, mashallah, I mean, like, so this is one of the things that we're reflecting on in the Quran, as we read it through the month of Ramadan, that Allah always sent, someone from amongst the people. Mm. And I'm not, and I don't want anybody to take that as a reference, me likening myself to anybody in the Quran, right? Mm-hmm. As far as the prophets, but people, I understand my people, and my journey is that I was at Masjid Allah, right? When Germantown Masjid first got started, I was down at Germantown Masjid. When UMM was getting started, I was down at UMM. When Masjid Isha, which is now Masjid Muhammad, was around and getting started at Masjid Isha and then Masjid Muhammad, I was there too. Philadelphia Masjid, like we all go there, right?
Yes, sir.
So I know a lot of the people that are at these different institutions. I consider them all my brothers and sisters. And over the years, can't forget Cuba too, right?
Can't forget Cuba.
Yeah, can't forget Cuba. But I've worked with all of them in some capacity over the years. and for various reasons, I'm in a different place now.
Right.
But I still see them as my brothers and sisters, you know, and we're trying to, you know, make sure that, you know, we're not just Muslim in name, Muslim in religion, or Muslim in dress, right?
Yes.
That we're Muslim in action.
Yes,
that
sir.
we're Muslim in deed, Muslim in character, Muslim in providing the solutions to the society, man. And for me, you know, I'm a big hip hop fan, you know, and KRS had this line back in the day where he said, "If this meaning doesn't manifest, put it to rest," right? So, you know, if what we're talking about, you know, as far as the deen, if what we're propagating, suggesting and pushing does not manifest, it does not produce life, does not produce progress, does not produce enlightenment, enhancement, then put it to rest, right? And so for me, everywhere, if you look at the history of Islam, everywhere it went, everywhere it was established, everywhere it was properly practiced, it enhanced the society. It brought the society up. Sciences were established. Money transactions and banking was established. Hospitals and medical facilities were established. If you look at the stars, most of the stars are named by Muslim scholars and Muslim astronomers. So you know, this is the history of Islam when it was established properly in different places.
Yes.
And so at the end of the day, you know, we should be, you know, working together and striving towards improving our society. Like Philadelphia has some very unique challenges, and if the Muslims, you know, aren't a part of that solution, then, you know, we need to sit down somewhere probably. But I'm going to go ahead and try to do my best, you know, to be a part of the solution and what's going on right inside the city.
Well, I thank you so much, brother.
Do the same.
I thank you so very much. This was a very beautiful conversation with you, man. So for those that do not know, this is one of our new young brother imams in the city. I like to refer to him as the cool hip hop imam. He said it, y'all. He was on. Y'all don't know when he was talking just now. He was really spitting bars when he was referring to KRS-One. But man, I pray for you. I pray that Allah gives you fortitude, man, and He gives you the strength and the hikmah, man, to be able to not just guide yourself and your family, but the community that you're now responsible for, brother.
Ameen.
So I pray you have a beautiful Ramadan, and I hope to see you somewhere during Ramadan, inshallah.
I mean, shukran, my brother, and I pray the same for you, man. You've been a pillar in the community for years now. You know, from just being down at UMM and being on guard there for years,
man.
to growing into your own show and doing this show here as well. You know, just a pillar and doing what you're doing in the community as far as feeding the folks during this pandemic too. Is, you know, it's certainly an admirable thing.
Well, may Allah accept all of us, man, for all the good that we're doing, because I know we got a lot of bad. We just sinners, man, trying to go to paradise. I know I am. I thank you, man, so much, man. All right. Assalamu alaikum. Well, folks, that is the end of this show. It's been a really good show. I encourage you to stay tuned for the Rick Ford Show. The Recovery Hour is coming up next. And remember what I said, help a masjid out, help an organization out. These are hard times for everybody. And don't think for a second that the masjids don't need your help. They do. They need your financial contributions. Believe me when I tell you this. 6 weeks, this city, this country, this world has been on lockdown. We need help in the community. Have a great day, family. Assalamu alaikum.
حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح.
The coronavirus continues to affect us all, and AARP is here in Philadelphia, actively supporting you and your community. Every day, they're providing trusted information from experts, working to protect people from fraud, supporting family caregivers, and making...
All right then, let's take a shot.
Complete the census online, by phone, or by mail. Shape your future. Start here at 2020census.gov, paid for by U.S. Census Bureau.
Now, with more clarity, this is Wurd Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD Philadelphia. Streaming live at wurdradio.com. The views and opinions expressed by the guests, listeners, and hosts of any program on Wurd Radio do not necessarily reflect those of ownership, management, or advertisers of this station.
This is your life. This is your life. It's your life. It's my life. It's your life. It's your life. This is your life. And it's the only one you've got. It's your life you're giving. Don't you think it's time you ask yourself for what? The worst one at our end of town, and everyone knows that I still love you so. That precious wine you're tasting will be better when you're done. It's your life you're wasting. Don't you think it's sad you had to start so young? This is your life, not a merry-go-round. It's your life, and you can't live it down. The worst one in our end of town, and all the men know that I still love you so. This is your life. I'm saying, this is your life, but it's mine.
Hey, welcome to Recovery Talk 101. I'm your host, Rick Ford, and you're listening to 900 AM WURD and 96.1 FM on the dial. Today is Saturday, May the 2nd, and the temperature outside is 74 degrees. Watch it. Watch it. Tonight's show is sponsored by the Behavioral Wellness Center, located right there at 8th and Girard Avenue. And a few announcements before we get started. And again, I'm praying for everybody that this coronavirus has affected so many people. Even yesterday, my oldest daughter, she tested positive. And I, last weekend, I want to thank Councilwoman Cindy Bass and City Council President Darrell Clark. They put up billboards, and the billboards clearly states that to stay home. Now, folks in recovery, I want you to get this here. In the literature, in some of the 12-step programs, it says, we suffer from a disease that has no known cure. It can, however, be under arrest, and then recovery is possible. What is that saying? We suffer from a disease that has no known cure. Wow. And we can only put it under arrest, but recovery is then possible. So what they're really saying is stay home. And on my way here to the station, there's a plethora of folks out there just walking around and riding around like it doesn't exist. Or maybe they think they're exempt. I'm praying for folks who the numbers are increasingly growing for not only the African American people, but people. They want to open up the city and the economy. Well, think about this. Who benefits from opening up the economy? Now, I want the sisters, please pay attention to what I'm about to say. I know you want to look good and beautiful. Listen, I love when the sisters look good. But the only people that will benefit when they open up the economy is these nail salons and these beauty salons and all these places, right? Even me, I need a haircut, and I was trying to shave and messed up my mustache. But guess what? I'm not trying to look good for nobody. And the way the economy is, I'm trying to hold on to every dollar that I got right now because we don't know when this is going to be over. When you think about what's happening, listen, if they stop the Olympics, if they stop basketball and baseball, last week I was looking at the Penn relays last year. And I was just amazed at the number of folks that was at Franklin Field for the Penn relays. And if I'm not mistaken, the Penn relays would have started sometimes this week, either Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and tomorrow. So no, it's not going to be any concerts. We're going to cancel Recovery Idol till we get to the other side. We're talking about social distance. We want people to really understand what's at stake. Folks are dying out there, and I want to make sure that people really understand. I just was reading something here that in New York, at a funeral home, 50 bodies in a truck. Folks are dying, and we cannot play with this. So we're going to open up the phone lines right here at 215-634-8065. I'm going to repeat that, 215-634-8065, toll free, 1-866-361-0900. You can hit us up on Facebook at Forward, Twitter at OnWord, Instagram at OnWord, Tumblr at OnWord, or you can download the free WURD app in your Android or iPhone. That way you can't miss this wonderful information. For those that are viewing us on Facebook, and please send your comments and concerns about how you're dealing with this coronavirus, the anxiety, cabin fever, depression, increasing of alcoholism and drug use. And you know what? I tell you, I rode through the city of Philadelphia, and I'm still just at all, just watching people just gathering and hanging out. And I say this, once the temperature rises up to where we are now, 74 degrees, more folks will just think that we get a break. I don't know. Kudos to all the graduates from Lincoln University. My wife she has another degree. They're going to be graduating tomorrow. So if you know the First Lady of Recovery, Sheila Ford, give her a call and congratulate her again on another accomplishment of her educational endeavor, academia. And I think she said, we got to plan that once it's over. I'm going to go back as she rests now, and we're going to keep doing that. So, please congratulate the First Lady of Recovery, Sheila Ford, when you give her a call or email her or Facebook her and thank her. And it's been a trying time for her. Talking about the coronavirus, she just lost my brother-in-law about a week and a half ago, and here we are. My daughter has tested positive, so then I don't see things changing, Dave, for it's getting, talking about the curve, because I'll say it again, once the weather gets up, 75. I noticed in New York, they close all the pools for the summer in New York. Guess what? They just did the same thing here in the city of Philadelphia, closing all the pools. The Mayor Kenny, put out his budget address. There's going to be no seasonal workers, no pools. They're talking about taxes again, parking, And I'm going to say this before we go to our guest. The Philadelphia Parking Authority, that money was supposed to enhance the educational school system. Everything they talk about taxes in the city annoys me. The cigarette tax, the soda tax, the real estate tax, where does that money go? One of the questions somebody asked me, the cigarette tax, it goes into a separate a pocket. Well, they got work to do. So hopefully they can get things together before September, before the school season opens back up. That'll be another show. I'll talk about that. So I don't know, man. I'm just really praying. And I'm going to say that for those who have lost their loved ones, trust me, my prayers go out to you. My prayers go out to the people that are doing the frontline people, the doctors, the nurses, all the folks working in the city, social workers, therapists, directors, clinicians that are out there doing what they do. And I share this all the time. Those folks, it's not about making money. You got to have a passion to do this kind of work. So I think we're going to go to our first caller. And again, tonight's show is sponsored by the Behavioral Wellness Center right here in the city of Philadelphia at 8th and Girard. And on the line, we have Laura Boston Jones, who is the Senior Vice President of Operation here at the Behavioral Wellness Center at 8th and Girard. Miss Jones, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
I can. Good evening, Mr. Ford. It's just a pleasure to hear your voice.
And likewise, it's so funny. Thank God you had my wife's number, because I was just mentioning the fact that my daughter was diagnosed positive. So it kind of really put me in a bad space yesterday, and I went and kind of laid down and started feeling some feelings about just this whole thing overall. So when my wife came down and told me, somebody on the phone, Miss Laura Boston Jones. So I thank Xavier Bancroft for connecting the dots. And you guys, when I say you guys, the Behavioral Wellness Center located at 8th and Girard. And you let me say this, Miss Jones. I was just thinking about the history of that corner, 8th and Girard, going all the way back to, I guess, when it was St. Luke's. Was that St. Luke's back then?
Yes, in the night, St. Luke's moved their hospital there in the early 1900s. It's been there for quite some time.
Wow.
So we first had some drug and alcohol programs there in 1945. I was looking it up and refreshing my memory. 1945, Dr. Stahl hooking up with some folks from AA out of New York.
Really?
And the old Philadelphia General Hospital.
Yeah.
And bringing together an alcoholism treatment facility at when it was the St. Luke's Children's Osteopathic Hospital.
Yes.
1945.
Wow.
And he's been doing it a long time.
So then after that, you got, I think, turn into what? Health systems or
Well, it's in St. Luke's, Jaffray,
right,
Girard, the North Philadelphia Health System,
Yes.
And now the Behavioral Wellness Center at Girard.
Yeah, thank God you got, it is awesome that when you think about the landscaping and where you guys are located over there, it is, I'm just so excited to know that it still exists over there.
Yeah. And we're excited to still be here. There's that old line from the movie where I forget who he says. He says something like, the reports of our deaths were premature.
Yes.
So we are very excited. It's been a struggle. It's been a very, very difficult struggle. And, back in 2016 when St. Joe's closed, we were two hospitals, the St. Joseph's Hospital at 18th Street and Girard Street. And in March of 2016, St. Joseph's closed after, having been established in the 1800s.
Wow.
It was a hospital in the 1800s to serve immigrants who couldn't get care anywhere else. And so in March of 16, we closed St. Joe's. In December of that same year, we filed bankruptcy. And we thought we might not survive, and I don't want to offend any of your listeners, but ain't God good?
Yes.
Ain't God good?
Yes, he is. And
come out on the other side.
You guys are still there providing services there, and I'd be remiss if I didn't, I want to thank Xavier Bancroft for his commitment and leadership, and my good friend Tony Moses and the rest of the wonderful people there. And I always think about our friend Ron Tyree and the history.
Yes,
so, Ms. Jones, help the viewers and listeners understand how they can contact you guys over there at 8th and Girard. What services are you rendering to people during this coronavirus?
All right. So as has been the case for the last few years, you can reach us directly 24 hours a day, 7 days a week by calling 215-787-2407. 24 days, 24 hours, 7 days a week.
So I'm going to repeat that. 215-787-2407.
Yes.
24 hours a day.
24. There is someone, a live person, answering that phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Right.
In terms of getting into treatment, you still have some of the same things you have to do. Going to a crisis response center, any of the 5 crisis response centers, going to the NET assessment site over on Spring Garden.
Yeah, Access.
That's
where the First Lady of Recovery works at, Sheila Ford. My wife, she works there.
If you're looking for straight outpatient treatment, you can call that number, and we will do a telephonic assessment and an admission.
Wow.
So here's the thing that's going on during coronavirus. All of us have become, I like to say I'm a little bit over 21.
Yes, ma'am.
And so when I think of a telephone, it's ring, ring, hello. But in this coronavirus, we've all had to learn about Zoom and and how to do things differently.
Yeah.
And so we are able to see people from their home.
Yeah.
So you can call in. You can get an assessment for outpatient treatment. We will provide telephonic services. We will do them by Zoom. We will, provide you if you can just stay in outpatient.
Yes, ma'am.
If you want to come inpatient, we are still doing admission.
I think, Ms. Jones, I think the Zoom has become a marketing tool. I'm quite sure there are a host of folks just really learning how to get acclimated to utilizing that application. Even myself, I was struggling last week trying to do something on Zoom. So thank God for technology, right?
Yes. because what that's done for us is it's allowed us to continue to provide inpatient treatment for opioids, other drugs, alcohol, folks who need to come inpatient, and at the same time limit some of the risk.
Yes, ma'am.
So folks go to a crisis response center. They get sent to us. They come into our unit and to our what we call our withdrawal management and induction unit.
Yes, ma'am.
And the counselors are they're not on site right now. But what will happen is we have computers, laptops, the counselors Zoom in, they run groups, they do individual sessions. We have our creative arts therapists, our music therapists, our movement therapists, our guy who does Tai Chi. They're all doing it by Zoom.
That is great.
Services are still delivered on a day-to-day basis. There are nurses, support people, folks in recovery are on site. And so people are able to get support and treatment even in the coronavirus.
That's great. And I hope that those who are viewing and listening take advantage of the opportunity right here in North Philly. Listen, and I'm quite sure you guys will provide transportation. If someone calls at 3 o'clock in the morning and says, I'm ready to get in, and I think if I'm not mistaken, Xavier mentioned the fact that we will have someone to get that particular person over there for the assessment or in treatment.
It's a little harder with Corona right now.
Yes, it is.
We still have transportation. We transport the folks that we have on site back and forth to doctor's appointments if they have to go. But I will say that getting transportation is a little harder because we don't know. If you're at a crisis response center and they've screened you, yes, we would be able to do that.
That's great. Yeah.
Part of it is the screening, because what we're trying to do is make sure that we don't introduce viruses that are already there.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, think about how wonderful it is to be in treatment, at a high level of treatment. And I'm quite sure y'all still have the Gomic Clinic there as well, right?
Yes.
That is good.
So we're still serving people there. We have folks again. A number of people are getting take-home meds right now. Some people are getting 6 days. Some people are getting more. If people are not safe for take-homes, they are coming to the clinic every day and getting dosed. So we're open every day. All of our programs are open. The biggest piece is really trying to balance. You know, what we're saying to staff, what we're saying to participants, to members, is coronavirus came. That didn't mean that the opiate epidemic went away.
Oh, boy. I'm so glad you brought that up. And
the opiate epidemic didn't say, oh, okay, well, I'll just leave because y'all too busy.
Yes. You know, it's funny, Ms. Jones. I went to my office, if I'm not mistaken, either Friday or Thursday, and I had to ride past, as part of my movement to ride past certain neighborhoods, just to get a visual of how many people are out moving around. And I just rode past Kensington and Allegheny, and it was so disheartening to see the number of people that were out there. Like, we have so much work to do here in the city of Philadelphia. Most of those people are out there because of the opiate epidemic. And you're right. Things haven't changed. The opiate epidemic. Isn't that amazing how we shift from the opiate epidemic and to safe injection sites, and now how the coronavirus has become the main topic. But the opiate epidemic still exists. Numbers are increasing as we speak. And for those who, and I'll share this, it's not a movie. It's not an amusement park. It's not something that people would look at and think it's okay. No. what can we do for those people out there that are on the streets, that are homeless? And I thank God for the leadership here in the city of Philadelphia, David Jones and Deputy Commissioner Roland Lamb. And I understand that they opened up one of the hotels downtown on Arch Street.
Yes.
The Hilton one. I'm not sure the name of it. But
I believe it's the Hilton Express at 13th and I want to say 13th and Walnut.
Okay. So I'm just glad that I wish that people take advantage of these opportunities to get treatment and get some shelter. Because I don't see getting it. I'm going to ask you this, Ms. Jones. What's your thoughts? What do you see anything that's going to transpire in terms of a curb? What's your thoughts?
Well, I think for even what we've seen at our location, because, we're not, just like all of the residential or long-term places or congregate care, we've had our share of folks who've had symptoms. We've had a few folks who've been positive. No one should worry about that in terms of if that happens while they're in treatment. We do have a separate unit.
Yes, ma'am.
Single room. And even in those single rooms, every person in those single rooms has a laptop.
That's great.
Every one of them gets individual therapy and can participate in group through telephonic means. But, I fear that, as you say, as it gets a little warmer, as people start lifting restrictions, I don't understand the need for having my nails done.
Yes. And it's a wake-up call.
Process with my hand in somebody else's hand.
Yeah, it's a wake-up call, and I hope that people don't take this the wrong way, but I think it's a wake-up call for us as African American people, because if I did a survey, how many naileries are governed or owned by African American people? Mm-hmm. The numbers are very limited, and I know that it just makes me take a look.
And I think we have to look at being safe. So I think yes, we have. If you look at the news, if you see, the potential is for things to be able to flatten out. But the things they're opening up, that they're saying, well, come on back and get your hair cut. Come on back and get your nails done. Come on back and go to a hand and stone massage.
Yeah.
How do you do that with safe distancing?
Yeah.
And so, the balance for us really has to be, as we balance every day. Our senior management team meets every morning via conference call for more than an hour, trying to balance how do we provide desperately needed substance treatment and make sure people are safe while we're doing it.
Yeah. So hold on, Ms. Jones. We're going to take a break, and we'll come back to you. We got a couple of callers on the line, so I want you to stay there. I'm talking to Laura Boston-Jones, the Senior Vice President of Operations at the Behavioral Wellness Center right here at 8th and Girard. Phone lines are open for you guys who questions, concerns, or comments at 215-634-8065. Toll free, 1-866-361-0900. If you want to get into the conversation, give us a call. We'll be right back.
The Behavioral Wellness Center at Girard is a Philadelphia drug and alcohol treatment center offering both inpatient and outpatient psychiatric and substance abuse counseling and treatments. The Behavioral Wellness Center at Girard, formerly North Philadelphia Health System's Girard Medical Center, has always been at the forefront of innovation in the provision of treatment services for individuals with substance abuse and mental health challenges, and a willing partner to the City of Philadelphia in serving city residents. The center's role in the health and wellness of the citizens of Philadelphia has been and continues to be critical, particularly given its location and easy access to much-needed services in the surrounding communities. They provide effective, evidence-based behavioral health services and partner with participants in their wellness journey. Their services include substance use disorder services, inpatient psychiatric services, outpatient drug and alcohol treatment services using methadone, Suboxone, and Vivitrol. They deliver these services in a manner that is spiritually and culturally sensitive and responsive to community needs. Let them help you through your recovery journey. Contact them at 215-787-2407. That's 215-787-2407. Behavioral Wellness Center at Girard, inspiring hope and transforming lives.
So there's someone very close to you, and they're in a lot of trouble with opioids, alcohol, maybe other drugs. You're desperate to help, but you don't know what to do. So you just watch, and just as desperately, you do nothing. Well, there is something you can do. Call the consortium. They've helped a lot of people in their 50 years, thousands, good people who just need to get out of their own jail. The consortium's multicultural clients come from all over the region to their West Philadelphia location because the consortium's understanding and proven methods are treasured by them because they work. And while they could go anywhere, they choose the consortium, and so can you. Call 267-233-5163. If you know someone in trouble, just give us a call. We'll help with the rest. The consortium, 267-233-5163.
Substance use disorders and co-occurring disorders are chronic diseases that do not discriminate due to income, educational level, geographic locale, nationality, race, or religion. Individuals with substance use disorders frequently become alienated from their friends, families, and communities, left feeling alone with no place to turn to for help. If you are feeling alone or your life seems out of control due to substance abuse, you have a place to turn. That place is Eagleville Hospital. Eagleville provides a therapeutic atmosphere and provides the tools you'll need to support long-term recovery. The residential environment provides professional support for individuals to achieve and maintain sobriety, return sober to their family and friends. For more information or to see if Eagleville Hospital is right for you, call toll-free at 1-800-255-2019 or visit them on the web at www.eaglevillehospital.org.
Hi, I'm the First Lady of Recovery, Sheila Ford, and you're listening to Recovery Talk 101 with Rick Ford on 900 AM, WURD, and 96.1 FM.
Not giving us a spirit of fear, but a power and love and a sound mind. Come on.
Famine and diseases, yo, they plague our land today. Violence there is needless, 'cause there is so much hate. There are many questions that often take place, yeah. Sanctify that soul, yeah. But we must keep the faith away, yeah. But I
will comfort you.
And when your hope is gone, he will see you through. Yeah. And we come together. Let's make a difference, y'all. I believe we will. I believe we can.
I believe we can, yeah.
You, but I believe in a God who could use this. I believe the children's still the future. I believe
Hey,
a God who
we're
renews us.
back, and I'm sitting here with our producer, Dave, and yeah, I like that piece there, and folks are gathering, and I was just telling Dave that, you know, I don't think there's going to be any concerts, you know, if they stop the Olympics and baseball and basketball and no pools, and I'm just imagining this. Miss Jones, we're back here, Miss Jones, are you there?
Yes.
And I was just thinking, our wonderful mayor, and I understand because of budgetary cuts, and but I'm just trying to look ahead that if we get to July and it's 95 degrees outside, folks out there sweltering, and no pools. Mm-hmm. We need Jesus immediately. Because, you know, and I hope, I'm quite sure, City Council, if you guys are listening from City Council, I think you guys have until July the 1st to go to the mayor and say, hey, you got to make some other changes in terms of how to shift some money. Please don't do that to our kids. We need for the mayor to make the right decisions. I understand. And if they mentioned that there's a $600 million deficit, well, you better call number 45 and get some money here. I tell you. So, Ms. Jones, yeah, we're back. Ms. Jones, still on the line. We got a call on the line. We got Yusef. He's been on for a while. Yusef?
Yes.
Hey, welcome to the show. How are you?
Yes. Your guest was speaking on St. Joseph Hospital earlier.
Yes, she was talking about the closing of St. Joe's Hospital.
Yeah, that's my birthplace. That neighborhood is where I was born at. That's my original birthplace. It's called Francisville.
The neighborhood itself, right there. Yeah.
That's what it's called, Francisville. And you know, St. Joseph's Hospital was a community-based hospital. They hired so many people for that area. I mean, you couldn't tell them if you counted from here to eternity. I mean, security, maintenance, medical people, cleaning ladies. Most of them either live in the neighborhood or not too far from it.
Yeah.
I was a person that did handyman work for a guy that owned property right across the street from me on 17th Street, and he had property on Girard Avenue right there off of 17th Drive. And whenever I had to use the bathroom, because the buildings that he was renovating didn't have working bathrooms in it, so I would go over to St. Joseph's Hospital while I was working if I had to use the bathroom. And it was so sanitary, you could smell the disinfectant when you in it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then in the wintertime when they had cold blue, they don't let homeless people in on the cold in the emergency room. No questions asked. If he was homeless and it was cold blue, they could go in the emergency room and get out the cold. It was a community-based hospital. I mean, it was so friendly that it scared you. Like, are people this friendly for real?
Yeah.
He was on another planet how community-minded it was.
Well, you know, you said when you think about that, and you know, that was a wonderful landmark for a lot of us in recovery because there was a 12-step meeting that they used to have in here as well.
Right.
So
I knew people that I grew up with that went to that program in there.
Yeah.
A few guys and females that I grew up with that went in there, and they said, man, you know, they serve a meal. No question that they charge them. I mean, that was a hospital, man, that the community was surely missed, man. I was surely missed St. Joe's Hospital, man.
Well, you know, you think about the closing of hospitals here. There are some other hospitals that have closed. You got Hanneman that have closed. So we're at a critical time. Yusef, now before I let you go, how are you dealing with the coronavirus and you're staying safe in a way? What are you doing?
Well, first of all, I eat a lot of herbal sustenance. Like I eat red onions, garlic, horseradish, green peppers, and I eat a lot of vegetables, and I take a lot of vitamin C.
So are you staying in the house, Yusef?
Yes, I stay. When I'm not out, you know, making a living, I stay home.
Okay.
Now, I used to do work for St. Joseph Hospital. You know, they would put out hospital beds that wasn't of no use no more. They would put out stoves and refrigerators, and I would remove that for them. That's another thing I miss about them. They provided, man, for people that was, you know, trying to make a decent living, man.
Yeah.
In a house, they was not pleasant. They knew I was into Islam. They didn't care that because I wasn't a Christian.
Yeah.
They wasn't religiously biased. They wasn't racially biased. That's a hospital that will always be missed, man. They're one of a kind.
Yeah.
When they closed that hospital down, they did something to that community that can't be, you know, replaced, man.
Well, you know, and Yusef, I just want to thank you for calling, because I had the vice president, Ms. Laura Boston Jones, who resides down here at 8th and Girard. So they are still up and providing safety and healing for people down. So I thank you for calling, Yusef.
Okay.
All right. So, Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Wow, he just talked about his little history of St. Joe's.
Yeah, you know, I've been with the institution. I came in, I was born and raised in Philadelphia, right off of 57th and Walnut, a little street called Alden Street. Went to Sayre and went to West Philly High. And I came into work to North Philly Health Systems in 1999. And so I'm like almost a new kid on the block when you think about a hospital that was there and established in the 1860s.
Yes, ma'am.
And right. I mean, community hospitals, they've struggled.
Yeah.
And in the coronavirus, in what we're going through now, and when we've looked at the impact that it's having on African Americans, the loss of community hospitals that served the poor, whether it's Philadelphia General from years ago or St. Joe's or, you know, the old Mount Sinai.
Oh, wow. Forgot about that one.
When you look back at those hospitals that served the poor in a different way, that were community-centered and community-based,
yeah,
you wake up today and you look around and you go, and those are the kinds of hospitals that are very much needed in this situation.
And you know what? It's, you know, now that you mention that, and I think about those particular hospitals, St. Joe's, Misericordia, and you're right in the community where people didn't have to travel and got high-level services.
And we're known.
Yeah.
You know, this is the kind of time when people can get afraid about what they don't know.
Yeah.
And so when you can go to people who know you, who you're familiar with, it's a lot. It's important. It's important that you don't walk in and feel like a number.
Yeah. And, you know, when I think about, you know, that whole transition of the closing of Hanneman Hospital in the middle of the pandemic, when, you know, this town is quite interesting in terms of that. There was a major need for the owners of Hanneman Hospital to kind of get in bed with the city of Philadelphia because there was a need, and because of money and bureaucracy and all the other stuff, that didn't take place, and it kind of made people take another look at systems and how people operate. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sad to hear that kind of stuff.
Hospitals and public service has not diminished.
Yeah.
And it won't diminish. You know, we're going to, you know, we had closed our admissions for a little while, and again, I want to reemphasize our admissions are back open again. We were closed to admissions for a short period as we sort of really made balance between safety and service.
Yeah.
And like many hospitals, we were at one point having a significant problem with PPE. And so now all of our clients have masks, all of our staff have masks, and as we're able to maintain that and maintain an open admission process, that's what we'll do. We want to, like I said, Our mission is at the Behavioral Wellness Center. Our mission is to inspire hope and transform lives.
Lives. That's the theme. I love it.
That's our mission.
Yes, yes, yes.
Focused on folks with substance use disorders and people with chronic mental illness.
Yeah.
And we every day now we have to approach that mission with how do we provide a quality service.
Yeah.
And in this pandemic, keep people safe.
You know, we love you, Miss Jones, and for those of us who know who Miss Laura Boston Jones is, you've always had that kind heart, and we appreciate your commitment and your leadership to the city of Philadelphia. Is anybody you want to thank over there at the Behavioral Wellness Center, Miss Jones?
Well, there are 3 people, though there are hundreds. But let me start with 3, and then I'll talk about the hundreds as a group.
Yes, ma'am.
3 people, our new CEO, who has a passion and an understanding and a communication style that has really moved us forward as an institution, that has really helped us understand how to live the mission after having come through what we've come through.
Yes, ma'am. And who? What's her name?
That is Jerry Walker.
Jerry Walker. We're going to give her a hand.
Walker.
Yes, ma'am. We're going to give her a hand. I'm sorry, Miss Jones.
That's okay. Then Xavier Bancroft.
Yes.
New VP of Operations.
Yeah.
And again, just someone who has a passion for the work and a passion for the people that work there, and who in this last 6 weeks, he and I'm going to connect him to Wanda Nolasco, who is our VP of Patient Services and our Chief Nurse.
Yes, ma'am.
The 2 of them are, let's call them the folks on the ground.
Yes, ma'am.
As I said, I'm a little bit over 21. I'm 65 plus with diabetes and asthma.
Wow.
Yeah, and hypertension. So all of those underlying things that coronavirus likes to attach itself.
Yeah. And
Wanda and Xavier have stayed on the ground, making sure that the care and the service are provided with passion and caring. I can't thank them enough.
Yeah. And we're going to give them both a hand, Xavier Bancroft and Wanda Velasco. Is that her last name, Velasco?
Nolasco, with an N.
Nolasco. We want to thank them. And finally, and your 100th people.
The 100th, I'm going to say, those are the nurses, the addiction recovery assistants, the community recovery assistants, the mental health workers. They are our line staff.
Yeah.
And every day, they are coming to work. They're providing care. They're providing the mental health services, the substance use disorder services in the line of fire.
Yeah.
So they're on site every day.
Yeah, that's great, man.
And they have to come every day, give that care, and get past what all of us are having, the anxiety and fear of whether we will catch it, whether you will bring it home.
Yes.
And they show up every day.
Yeah. I commend those folks. I used to say this, and I still say this all the time, Ms. Jones. I share this with people that those who work in this field of addiction and substance abuse and mental health, they don't make a lot of money.
No.
And you got to have a passion for this. But I tell somebody, a lot of people chase a paycheck, but if you chase your passion, a paycheck will chase you.
Yeah.
And, everybody's not cut to do this kind of work and saving lives and providing hope and healing. So I applaud you guys. Now, you know what's funny? Last week, the Behavioral Wellness Center was supposed to be on the air. I'm going to do a disclaimer because tonight's show should have been Southwest News Stop with Ricky Duncan. So what we're going to, and Ricky Duncan, if you're listening, you guys will go back to the first Saturday of the month. And the fourth Saturday of the month will be the Behavioral Wellness Center from 8th and Girard. That's our normal schedule. And we're going to keep providing life-saving information to the viewers and listeners here at 900 AM, WURD, and 96.1 FM. Miss Jones, I want you to go home and be safe, right?
Uh-huh.
And
I just want to thank you, Rick, because you bring to the city in your radio show the recognition that there is no them.
Yeah.
One of the reasons we've had such a hard time in this country dealing with mental health and substance abuse is because people think it happens to them.
Yes.
It happens to us.
Yes, yes.
It is all of us. And you remind us on your show, and you remind us when you do what you do, that this is an us thing.
Yes.
It's not a them thing. Yeah. And if we understand that, we'll do more. If we understand that this is us, we will do more.
Yes. And, you know,
I just want to thank you for doing that.
I thank you so much, Jones, and I just thank Almighty God for giving me an assignment. And a lot of folks often ask you, how do you do all the things you do? And
all my brothers and sisters, let the love flow, let the love show.
Without a speaker stars, it's all about strength. Let's rise. Life, pressure, struggle, strain. Must stand together, let us shoulder the pain. Me can't dare witness blood a run down the drain. Me can't stand helpless and a half a ear.
No, I would never ever turn and walk away. When we stop and take a good look in your face. No time for waste if I make my brother's keeper. I'm his enemy, so now I got to searching on my soul deeper.
How can I stop my heart from breaking? What can I do to ease the pain? How can I stop the earth from shaking? Searching for strength to keep me safe.
What can we do to make it better? Is it too late for us to try?
Now I rethink the things I treasure. A fragment of hope is in these eyes. We shall rise again.
We shall rise and spread our wings once again.
We shall rise again.
With the help from our brothers and our friends.
We shall rise again. We shall rise again. We shall rise again. We shall rise. We shall rise. We're gonna
And he is a representative of the Jamaican National Group, Harry Borsing. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you so very much for having me. Very good evening to you and your listeners.
Thank you, man. It's good to hear you because your Jamaica National is doing something special for especially for the Caribbean community, Jamaican community. We have money remittances organization that sends money to Jamaica, and when you go into the stores or the representative places, they want to know where you're born, where your name, where you come from. Them kind of things they're asking, which they can have IDs, but you have American ID, that should be enough. The questions they ask are truly embarrassing. So I'm very, very glad that Jamaica National Group has seen a need and come into the community to do the right thing. Tell us about it.
Well, thanks again for having me. JN, the group of companies, many of your listeners would know the group, the company, Jamaica National Building Society. They probably have had savings account or mortgages or some form of transaction they've done with the group over the period. I represent the money transfer division, so we are part of the group. My company is JN Money Services.
Good.
And we go under the brand JN Money, formerly JN International Money Transfer. So wherever your customers or your listeners see the JN Money brand, that's us. So, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, yeah, JN Money brand. And, you're into banking, mortgages, remittances. Folks can pay bills. And tell us about it, man.
Well, yes, this is one of the reasons why we've decided to go into Pennsylvania. That state would now cement the Northeast region for us because they're licensed in their states, particularly in the Northeast. Pennsylvania, we had jumped over Pennsylvania and went to Washington, D.C., as well as Maryland. So we're now expanding our operations in Pennsylvania. We do so through a model of both agents and online, and at some point we're going to be setting up our own branches there. And our service is unique. Persons can use our money transfer service to send money to loved ones back home, to send money to bank accounts. Doesn't matter which bank it is, whether the account is maintained in US dollar or Jamaican dollar. They can send to credit unions, the Building Society. They can also pay all the bills in Jamaica. Consider somebody who has a piece of land up in Manchester, for example, and wants to pay their land taxes, can't find somebody to do it, but they go home once every 3 years. They don't have to. They can pay the land taxes through us. The school fees, all the utility bills, like water, yes?
True.
The telephone cable, credit card bills, they can pay through us.
And if you're in America and you make some money and you want to buy a house in Jamaica, they can do it through you and get a mortgage.
Indeed, yes. Yes, they can get it through the JN Bank, formerly Jamaica National Building Society, and they can service the account through the money transfer service. So we're pushing, Lloyd, so now we're pushing as a commercial area. And again, we're one of the lowest in terms of fees sending to Jamaica. We are, by the way, just to let your listeners know that we're 100% Jamaican, owned by Jamaicans. Jamaica National Group is a mutual organization. It's owned by shareholders or savers of the bank.
True.
So when they use the service, they're supporting themselves. So we're pushing the online service now, but if there are any of your listeners who may have businesses, whether it be a restaurant, a mart, law office, real estate office, and wish to partner with us to offer the money transfer service, we welcome them. The revenue they earn from this is, can take care of some of the expenses, but it also gives them an opportunity to have additional walk in traffic so they can cross-sell too. So we're trying to push our online service, the website, jnmoneyonline.com, and persons would need to register first. It's a simple process. First, they log on, and then they will start enter their name and their email. Then they'll get an email link, which will take them back to the site. When they get back to the site, then they start the process of filling out their profile, their name, address, etc. They would also need to upload their a valid photo ID and proof of address, and email that to our group. Then after that, once they get another email, then they'll add their debit card, and that's it.
And all of that information is available online to folks who might not be able to jot it down.
Correct, it's online. And guess what? anybody who register online and do a transaction get a chance to win some Amazon gift cards.
Oh, that's
We're giving away Amazon gift cards as well to get persons intrigued. So guess what? The first transaction could be very free, relatively, yes? When you compare taking an Amazon gift card versus the $1.99 that you're going to be paying or the $7.50 you're paying to send money back home.
right. Welcome aboard, man, and welcome to Pennsylvania. Welcome especially to Philadelphia. We're a whole bunch of Caribbean folks, Jamaican folks living here in Philadelphia, and I know they can utilize your services because they're tired of being disrespected by the other remittance service. And Jamaica National is Jamaica National Group. Proud of you, brother. Thanks for the opportunity. Thanks for advertising with Wurd Radio. And I encourage all folks to go. Virus pandemic where people can't move around like they normally would. This is a really good service that can help them out to do things in Jamaica that they usually do personally, but now they can do it online.
It is. And Lloyd, over the 100 pickup points in Jamaica, we also have what is called JN Money Card. It's a debit card. It's free. It's not connected to any bank account.
Mm-hmm.
The receiver in Jamaica, his family members, will go into a JN Bank or JN Money Shop and sign up for the card, the CRN and the ID. Go ahead.
No. I was going to say that's a great thing because you know what? I have read in the Philadelphia papers here many, many times over the years where people going to Jamaica and taking their money with them and it's seized at the airport. You don't need to do that anymore. You open a bank account, you get a credit card, and you access your money to any bank in Jamaica or across the world. That is so important for people to know that they don't get ripped off by not knowing the rules and taking their money to Jamaica and have it taken away. So if you can get a money card, man, that is fantastic.
Indeed. Thank you so very much for the time. And may I just say a big shout out to Donna you and to our Honorary Consul General.
Yes, Christopher Chaplin and Donahue Bailey, of course. And thank you, man, Harry Borsing from the Jamaica National Group. Thank you so much.
Thank you, too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
One love.
Watch it, too much, too much, watch it, too much, dreadlocks can smoking pipe in peace, too much informers and too much bees, too much, watch it, too much, too much, watch it, too much, dreadlocks can live in a tenement yard, dreadlocks can't live in a tenement yard, can't penetrate.
Tenement yard, dreadlocks can't live in a tenement yard, and I must tell you that Jacob Miller was one of Bob Marley's greatest friends, so they grew up together there, they're companions. Tenement yards all over Jamaica. Every urban area had tenement yards, where several families live. Sometimes they are not even families, but the tenement yard was where they could find a space to live. Sometimes even 6 or 8 or 9 families, separate families, shared the same space. Tenement yards in Kingston, Morant Bay, every urban area in Kingston, in Jamaica, Montego Bay, Ocho have tenement yard, Port Antonio, Spanish Town, etc. Usually, but not always, people coming from the country parts to the towns, the urban areas to find work would end up in a tenement yard, and lots of people in the urban areas had their individual or family homes, but the mixing was total. Employment spaces, movie theaters, dances, beaches, etc. Tenement yard people everywhere. 75 Waltham Park Road, a Jamaican tenement yard, was special. The matriarch was my aunt. Her name was Jane Douglas. They call her Nana. Her husband was Nathaniel Cummings. They call him Grandpa. He was a pensioner from the Panama Canal. He was over in the canal, building canal, survived the mosquitoes and the malaria, came back to Jamaica and got a pension. The children in the tenement yard in the 1950s, I want to tell you about. That's what I want to tell you about. My sister Sylvia had 3 boys, Lee, Randy, and Cleve. One of their companions was Barrington Minot, who passed away because of the coronavirus last week. We weren't even able to say a proper goodbye, neither us nor his family, to Barrington. He was a very, very special guy. If Barrington had a proper funeral, there would be hundreds of people at his funeral. He was the cook at Charlie B's bar whenever they had basketball games or football games or Labor Day or Memorial Day or 4th of July. Barry did the cooking, the oxtail and the curry chicken and the jerk chicken and all Caribbean foods, and he was well loved, well known. He passed away. I want to tell you a little about Barry. You know, he was raised by his grandmother, Mas Edie. We always call him Masidi Barry. Everybody in the community in that lane call him Masidi Barry. When they describe him, they put his grandmother's name in front of his. That was the love and the respect. The tenement yard, growing up, Masidi Barry, we call him. And another young boy in the yard at 75 Walton Park Road was Roy Riley. We call him Baby Roy. He came to Philadelphia out of that yard, went to St. Joe's University, and later graduated as a lawyer from Villanova University. Tenement yard, tenement yard, tenement yard. We soon come back a little more Jacob Miller, tenement yard.
Skip, skip, Dreadlocks can't live in a tenement yard. Dreadlocks can't live in a tenement yard. Too much too much watchy. Too much too much watchy. Dreadlocks can penetrate the rain, man. All he might do is sell Jaja land. Too much watchy. Too much.
Yeah, the tenement yard, and Jacob Miller is singing that big song. Let me tell you, a tenement yard, you know, it was like the Richard Allen homes in Philadelphia, but it was one floor structures, so it's not high rise. And it was 1,000, Richard Allen homes was 1,000 times more classy than the dirt yard at 75 Walton Park. Well, let me tell you a little bit more about Barry. When Barry was a boy, living in Walton Park Road, at 75, there was a young lady, age 16 or so, in the yard, and she got pregnant, and she hid the pregnancy from. You hear me talk about him all the time. He's the executive producer of this show, and he's a computer engineer living in Florida. He went to KC, one of the top computer engineers in America right now. Randy, another one of my sister's son, he went to Calabar in Jamaica, came to and did a short stint at Flushing High School in Queens. Then he went to Creighton University in Omaha, Nebraska, where he got a PhD in pharmacology. Then on to Columbia University in New York for his MD. He is one of the top 20 cardiologists in the United States of America, out of the tenement yard in Jamaica. Talking about the tenement from the tenement yard, 75 Walton Blow, Cleve, my sister's youngest son, went to Calabar in Jamaica, high school in Queens, then on to John Jay College of Criminal Justice in New York, at New York University. He was a classmate of John F. Kennedy, Jr., and was a big-time lawyer with the Bayer Aspirin Pharmaceuticals. He passed his bar, the New York bar, on the first try. Were there any ladies in the tenement yard? Of course there were ladies. One of the most illustrious ladies in the tenement yard, some people listening in Radioland know right now, her maiden name was Wintress Thomas. She is from Burn Savannah in St. Elizabeth. Married name Cummings to my cousin. And she was a nurse at Misericordia Hospital. She continues her nursing career in Florida right now. Although she's retired, she works a couple of days. My sister Sylvia was the former head nurse at the Elmhurst General Hospital. She was head nurse there for 20 years. The hospital that's at the epicenter of New York coronavirus pandemic situation there. And there were a lot of other people. Beryl was another lady who lived in the yard. They were all, it was one unit, but I want to show that when we talk about a tenement yard, it's a place, not a great place of opportunity, but people made opportunities, and out of those tenement yards come some really, really great human beings. And I wanted to share, all the other people that I share their information, is Barry that I really want to talk about. He started life as a young man, very active in the yard, and was able to save that baby, and the rest is history. To Barry's family, Cheryl, his son, and all his daughter up there in Germantown, we miss him, we love him, and he will always be in our hearts. Thanks for indulging me, Word listeners everywhere. Gotta tell you, tenement yard, me I tell you. It's Caribbean Rhythms on Word 96.1 FM 900 AM. If you have an information or you have an experience of a tenement yard, maybe you grew up in a tenement yard, you can call me 215-634-8065, 1-866-361-0900. Redlocks. All right, let's simmer down for a little bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen to the great voice of the great Master Griffiths. You're moving too hard. Wow! Pull down. Pull down. Second. Simmer down. You're licking too hot, so better find some better ways. You need to improve. Calm down your temper, down the overproof. Let go from the bitterness and change your attitude. Long time people them used to say, what's sweet now the goat have a running belly, so simmer down. Control your temper. Simmer down. No, the battle will be hotter. Simmer down. And you won't get no supper. Simmer down. Simmer right down. Simmer down. Let me tell you something. Long time me tell you, simmer down and cut your speed. Calm down just for a moment, take a breath, you have to breathe. Anxiety get the best of you, mixed up with greed. Fighting for what you want, not what you need. Long time empty barrel and make the most sound. So many try to follow and end up underground. You're moving in circles like a merry-go-round. Now you are reaching for a straw when you find out that you drown. Wow. Get it. Whoa. Move it. Simmer right down. Simmer down. Control your temper. Simmer down. No, the battle will be on.
Simmer down. It's Caribbean Rhythms on Word 96.1 FM 900 AM. Everything crucial because of the coronavirus pandemic. This is Bunny Wailer with his Crucial Rhythm.
This your system, crucial. In your this your rhythm, crucial. I'm out on the rock now, with no clothes on my back, yo. Dealing with white squall now.
Oh yes, crucial times in the world with the coronavirus pandemic. One of our advertisers, Dr. Singh Family Dental Practice over there on 63rd Street in West Philadelphia, he's been closed and he will be closed until May 11th. I just want to make Dr. Singh's clients and patients know that there is an emergency number you can call. You call his regular number, and they will refer you to an emergency number that you can call for all emergencies. There is a dental situation where you can get dental care, especially in emergencies. So check it out and make sure. But Dr. Singh's Family Dental Practice, an advertiser here on Word Radio, will be reopening on around May 11th. All things go well. In the meantime, we have more music for you. Coming up at the top of the hour, we have the latest news from the Caribbean on the coronavirus pandemic situation. Let's give thanks and praise now anyway. Nurses and doctors and healthcare workers, we're thinking of you. Police and firemen, emergency workers. Yeah, give thanks and praise for your work.
Give thanks and praises to the Most High. Give thanks and praise for the health and strength to breathe and to breathe. Give thanks and praises to the Most High. Give thanks even if I want pants. Still I give your praise with no response. Give thanks, never keep a distance. A life over them to keep a sixpence. Give thanks. The rebels block already, we are forward. You figure with clearance. Give thanks. When the blessings of the Most High flow, we don't need no disturbance. Give thanks and praise to see a brand new day. Give thanks and praises to the Most High. Give thanks and praise for the health and strength to breathe that we breathe. Give thanks and praises to the Most High. It bring me joy just to live to see another day. Life journey continues, so again I pray for your love and your tender mercy to guide and protect me along life way. It's slippery on the road, yet the struggle real. A dog eat dog on the battlefield. Have to be careful while you're on for your daily meal. Just be my guide and shield. Give thanks and praise to see a brand new day. Give thanks and praises to the Most High. Give thanks and praise for the health and strength to breathe and to breathe. Give thanks and praises to the Most High. Life's sweet, but the streets can be dangerous. So I ask the protector to watch over us. Spiritually, mentally, you stick with us. You never leave us, no, no. You were there when the journey seems impossible. I have been your step in and make it compatible. Now the blessings start flowing unstoppable. Oh, now, now. Give thanks and praise to see a brand new day. Give thanks and praises to the Most High. Give thanks and praise for the health and strength to frontier that we breathe. Give thanks and praises to the Most High. Give thanks even if I want pants. Still I give your praise with no response. Give thanks, never keep a distance. A life over there to keep a sixpence. Give thanks. The rebels black already high forward. You figure with clearance. Give thanks. When the blessings of the Most High flow, we don't need no disturbance. No. Give thanks and praise to see a brand new day. Give thanks. When I see it, I feel good. Every day that you walk outside, you have a pretty smile on your face. But I know that you ain't treated right, that's something you can't erase. Said he hurt you, then you hurt yourself. That don't really make no sense. Just be who you are, girl, you're a star. A star. I see, I feel the pain that's running over you. I see, I feel.
People now infringing on our 8-hour workday, kind of work people more than 8 hours without overtime, kind of work people without benefits. In the long run, everybody's getting a fat paycheck except the worker. So this is really a wake-up call for America.
The struggle is continuous. Tune in to Laborers Live every Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. Sponsored by LESIT, the Laborers Employers Cooperation Education Trust of the Laborers District Council of Philadelphia and vicinity.
Local 332, Sam Staten Jr. Business Manager. Local 57, Esteban Vera Business Manager. Local 135, Dan Woodall Jr. Business Manager. Local 413, James Harper Jr. Business Manager. The Laborers District Council, Ryan Boyer Business Manager, and Tony Staten, Executive Director of LESIT.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute? When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can. But it's just as important to take time for yourself. AARP can help. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Wurd Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media.
And a very pleasant Saturday night, everybody. It's time for the latest news from the Caribbean. I am Lloyd Cummings with the Wurd 96.1 FM 900 AM Caribbean News Report. The Jamaica Health Ministry is reporting 10 new cases of the coronavirus in Jamaica, pushing the tally to 432. One of the new cases is at an Alorica call center worker. 7 are contacts of employees and 2 are under investigation. The Jamaica Ministry of Health said the ages of the victims range from 2 years old to 49 years old. In the meantime, there have been 2 more recoveries, increasing the recovery figure to 31. There are now 205 confirmed COVID-19 cases related to the Alorica call center located in Portmore. The cases are primarily from the parishes of St. Catherine and Kingston and St. Andrew. The Jamaica Health Minister says the ages of the infected Alacora workers range from 18 to 53. They comprised 154 females and 51 males. Jamaica's 8th COVID-19 death has been linked to the Alorica call center, whose Portmore site was the epicenter of a surge in coronavirus cases that sparked a ramping up of testing protocols and a shutdown of the parish of St. Catherine. The deceased is a 63-year-old woman from St. Catherine who was a contact of an Alorica worker. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton told the Jamaican newspaper The Gleaner last night. 19 employees of the Ministry of Health and Wellness have tested positive for COVID-19, the respiratory disease that has disrupted the government's response architecture. This follows the sampling and testing of more than 300 workers from its new Kingston office. The facility was temporarily closed for sanitization. A 32-year-old Barbadian man is the latest person to test positive for the novel coronavirus COVID-19 on the island Barbados. An updated press release from the Barbados Ministry of Health and Wellness said he was among 155 people tested yesterday. Of the 122 results returned so far by the Barbesta Santos Public Health Laboratory, he is the only positive. This case is under investigation by the ministry because he has no travel history and no known contact had been identified so far. He brings the number of people in isolation in Barbados to 35 and the number of confirmed cases of COVID-19 to 81, 43 females and 38 males. No one was released from isolation today, so the number of recovered people remains at 39. 7 people have died as a result of the COVID-19 in Barbados. The Public Health Laboratory has now conducted 2,160 tests since February 11. The first group of 11 female nurses left Cuba on Friday for Trinidad and Tobago as part of the efforts to help the Caribbean community CARICOM country combat the spread of the deadly coronavirus COVID-19. Coordinator of the group, Jacqueline Ramirez Diaz, said that the nurses will work with the professionalism and characterizes Cuban medicine and will face the pandemic together with the health of professionals in Port of Spain, the Trinidad capital. She said among the objectives of those who will leave for this internationalist mission are to return to the country healthy and with their duties fulfilled, as well as to share with the people of Trinidad and Tobago their experiences in confronting the pandemic. The administration failed to respect the Twin Island Republic's border policies in its handling of the situation involving 33 Trinidadians who were stranded in Barbados for a month. The Barbados Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Minister describes Young's comments as regrettable, as it stressed that Barbados had gone through all the appropriate channels to get the group of Trinidadians home. They returned to Trinidad and Tobago on Wednesday after testing negative for COVID-19. Speaking at a news conference on Saturday, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell of Trinidad and Tobago told reporters he knew nothing of a rift involving Barbados and his national security minister. That is the news. That's the latest news from the Caribbean right here. Comes your way every Saturday night on Wurd Radio, 96.1 FM, 900 AM. I'm Lloyd Cummings. Please join us every Saturday night from 7 till 10 for all the finest music and good information that you can imagine right here on the radio. In the meantime, we have much more music for you. And we're going to talk with Mamacita in this half hour. Keep your dial set here. And thanks for listening.
Make we walk and talk with joy in we are far away from you. You're the light in my dark. Every night me take a walk, I could never stray from you. Jaja, thanks for giving me this chance. Every day you have to give thanks. You make me stronger than a normal man. You make me rise from the lion's den. You make me rule the world with my pen. You made us, only you can break us, the world is in your hand. Jaja, watch over his people, shelter us all from the storm. Yeah, right through the struggle, when we needed him most. Jaja never leave us out there to walk alone. I don't need a million dollars to be rich, no. As long as Jaja is in my soul, all is in control. There is no reason to doubt now. Praises will go up, blessings will come down. Jaja never leave us out there to walk alone. Jaja watch over his people, shelter us all from the storm. Yeah, right through the struggle, when we needed him most. Jaja never leave us out there to walk alone. Jaja watch over his people, shelter us all from the storm.
That is Jack Cure, and what a big song that is. Jaja what over his people, and if it means to murder somebody or kill a tourist or something. That's the only news that we would get. Nothing about our communities or the government or anything. So, I know how important it is to hear your information from your culture. And so,
Very.
the news is important to me because I like to bring it.
We appreciate all the work you do, all the work you put in. Thank you so much.
Really
Thank you
appreciate
very much.
it. Go ahead.
I also wanted to share with you that I grew up in country. I was born in country.
True.
Right? Speaking about tenement yard.
Yeah.
And when I went to town after my grandmother died, went to town, lived with my mother, we were in a tenement yard.
True.
Yes, and I left. My mother sent me to live with my aunt who had maids, and her husband was an engineer who went to university here, Howard University. So she had maids. She taught us how to set table and everything, speak proper English.
You're moving up in the middle class area now, huh?
Yes, sir.
At that time.
And then I come to America, no maid, no helper. And anyway, I went into the Army.
Right.
And had a 12-year career.
Congratulations.
And then I got out and went into nursing. And I've been a nurse over 20 years.
Care worker at this time.
Yeah.
And please, all you do, be careful.
Yes.
I mean, I believe, say you come from Jamaica, come over here, come give your life to somebody else one. You can work and make people better, but not give up your life.
No.
You know what I say?
Doing my duties, my call. It's my call. and God is covering me, so I know I'm all right.
True.
Yeah.
Sharon from West Philadelphia, thank you
Yes.
so much.
Blessings.
Thank you,
To all
thank
in
you.
Radio Land. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Nurse Sharon, Navy military veteran, Army. Wow.
Yes, sir.
Take care.
Blessings.
All right. One love. Okay, that's a great call. You too can call Caribbean Rhythms, 215-634-8065, 215-634-8065 is the phone number. You can give us a call. Rhythms continue. We have a song here for you. Survival Psalms. After this, we're going to be talking with Mamacita, I think. Once I can link with her.
So here we are, my friends.
One love.
As history repeats it again. Your world is a cycle that turns over and over again. Hear the resonating sounds of jazz songs from that time when swords couldn't stand up against the power of Japan. Nowadays it seems that you can't relate, living their lives not knowing your fate. But planted deep within our souls, an intuition that will never grow. Carrying messages that our own forefathers told. And if you just listen carefully, you'll receive it and you'll feel so free. Free as all and leave Babylon to set me. So feel it deep within your souls. Will lead us out someday. Cause the Almighty I will show us the way. And we shall start a new Zion day. Cause these are survival songs. Now hear what I say. Yeah. Survival songs of this new Zion day. New Zion day, praise it today. So feel your love and feel his strength right away.
This is L, so the man. Yeah, I see the history, the mystery of Psalms in my palms. I don't read it, I just sing it to the sky. I will walk before the Lord in the land of the living. When I die, pray I got a sec to ask for forgiveness. I dream and I believe, and therefore I speak it. My 100% faith makes me greatly afflicted. I feel free, I feel calm. Deep within my soul, I feel young, I feel alive, I feel out of control. Never sold out, but the concert sold out. And when I roll out, my guardian angel roll out the red carpet, playing music from a harp. The kind of music make you smile, you can feel it in your heart. So this is the day that the Lord has made, and let us rejoice and be glad in it. Get rich to pay your tithes, say your prayers before the end of the night. Above it all, keep your dreams alive. So, man.
Cause these are survival songs. Now hear what I say. Yeah. Survival songs of this new Zion day. New Zion day, praise it today. So feel your love and feel his strength right away. Cause these are survival songs.
Called me Papacita. Mamacita, how you doing?
I am in line.
It is really good to hear you.
Okay.
Because, with this thing going on, man, every moment you talk to your friends and family, it's a time to be cherished because you don't know.
Right.
It's floating in the air. It's, they're not telling you for real, but it has to be. Why else would you have to take off your clothes when you go home and wash them just because you walk on the street? So, Mamacita, it's just kind of sad. And a sad thing happened in Jamaica. A Jamaican woman, her name is Jodie Ann Farron. Mm-hmm. She was expecting a baby, and she had getting ready to have the baby at Andrews Memorial Hospital, which is a private hospital in Kingston, Jamaica. You have to pay to go there. You can't just go in there and have your baby.
And you have Natal too.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're you know, in the same Kingston, St. Andrew area.
Right.
But what happened was that when she got there, she got sick, and they thought it was the coronavirus, and they refused to let the lady have her baby. They tried to transfer her to the University of the West Indies Hospital, and they would not take her. They tried to transfer her to Kingston Public Hospital. They would not take her, and they transferred her to Spanish Town Hospital.
Why they send her so far?
Oh my! You asked. That's a very good question. That's the question the Jamaican people are asking right now, because you know this kind of situation could happen to any man's wife and daughter and sister and expecting a baby. And so the baby was born safely in Spanish Town Hospital. Then they transferred her back to University of the West Indies Hospital, where she died of heart failure.
No, you know why?
Very sad.
Why she died?
Why?
They shouldn't. After you have a baby, you have got to lay down in the bed for 3 days before you get up. And maybe she have hemorrhage.
No, listen. All of that is true, you know, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because traditionally in Jamaica, when a lady had a baby, she stayed in the room with the baby in Jamaica for 9 days. She could go to the bathroom, go to the kitchen maybe, but she never left that baby for a long time. That is known as bonding. But in the later world now, America, England, Europe, you have the baby, you can get up the same day and go anywhere you want to go. The baby that you kept in your tummy for 9 months didn't have a chance to even bond.
That is not a good thing, because
Of course it's not.
I know 2 people died the same month. I having a baby. They didn't have the baby at the hospital. They have the baby at a midwife. And one of them, they was living right next across from me. And the mother have a house way up in Hope Road. And she take a cab and take her after she have the baby with the rest of children to go up there. And she died because, you see, after you have the baby, you have to lay down a certain way. And you can't get out of bed. The nurse them do everything for you.
Yeah, I think that was the traditional way. I think medicine have improved somewhat now.
Yes,
and I am not sure that it's necessary, you know. It is necessary, I mean, in terms of our African traditions, it's necessary. But the people who run the world now, who come from Europe and them things, they don't believe in them things. They believe you got to get up and go to work, because they believe in slavery. And they believe that, you know, you can't miss a day work, you can't take sick time off. You know, that is the world that they will have to change, because that is the world that the coronavirus pandemic is going to destroy, right? Because they never bonded. They have nothing to do with them parents. They did not feel that love after coming out of the mother's womb. Well, I hope, you know, I mean, some doctors go and call me and tell me some me talk foolishness.
No, you know what happened to? It's 9 kids we have, and we have all of them at Jubilee Hospital. Across some public hospital, because where you have the baby is different from where the sick people them is.
True.
And they keep you in for 9 days. 10 years.
Yeah, that's what they used to do. They don't do that no more, even in Jamaica.
No.
Trust me.
Yes, no, they don't do that no more, because somebody called me from hospital and say, have the baby born, so, and why you don't sick? Your blood pressure not high, and your blood pressure not low. They discharge at the same time.
Well, you know, we must also admit that medicine has advanced, you know, a long way. They know more things. They can take care of more things and things of that nature. But there is a certain bond coming from the ancients and ancient times and the gods that tell you that when you have a baby, you must bond with that baby for a while, no matter where the people from Europe say.
But listen, lad. You see my son that me at him house here now? Him nurse 1 year and 4 months.
For real.
All my baby them nurse. Breastfeed.
That's another thing too that, you know, they're finding out. I just heard something on the CNN or one of them TV about mother's milk and the value of it and all of that. We know that from long time.
Because anything you eat, that's what they nurse. And I used to have a lot of milk. Because I have to put something right in front of my breast, that milk just come back out of my clothes.
Listen. These people from Europe, they don't even want to see a mother breastfeed her baby on a train or a bus or a car. And I want to tell them, say, my baby mother can breastfeed my baby anywhere. And no boy, look here. Mama Sita, don't talk to...
I breastfeed my baby on the bus, but I go to the back of the bus.
Of course, we understand all of the protocols and all of that, but some people don't want it to be done in public at all, which is ridiculous.
This is why we could never be. Once New Year, see her face again. At you, who believe all of the things. Oh yeah. This is why I just can't get it. I know. It's so unfair. Ooh, baby, wish I knew how to separate the two. You remind me.
today. We all in our vibes, yeah. Today, today, today. I'm living my life, yeah. Today, today, today. And everything nice, yeah. We having our time, yeah. So why will we jamming and whining and don't touch the waist? Just in tequila and I keep in the faith. Sometimes go see me and push back on it. I come to enjoy myself and I don't care what nobody say. I come here to fret all my stress away. I'm living for today.
Give me a drum, give me the bass. Want a wine? Take a taste. Yeah, turn around, looking at me face. Boy, are you scared? Well, are you? And in the air, to the beat. Take a jump off your feet. Come closer, feel the heat. Probably you never heard of me. Caution, you need to take caution. Rude boy, you must have caution. Cause I don't care if you got your tractor license. Caution, you need to take caution. Oh, you must have caution. This lady here, oh, her whining just like poison. You say you got the best wine in town. You tell me you gonna turn it around. Promise to lick it upside it down. You better watch the words of your tongue.
Don't jump on this lady. When she start to tick tock, I just a do bend she back. Put me hand right on she waist. That is when I feel the case. Then she push me back in the corner. Bumper looking sweeter and silver. My body feels sweeter and sweeter. She be me, she be me, she be me, she be me. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. On the bumper, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Left, right, and center, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. On the bumper, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. I'm taking it slow, no fuck wine is slow. Back ball is slow. I love how she moving. I'm taking it slow. Sweating me face slow. I have to wind me way slow. I like the taste. I'm taking it. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. On the bumper, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Left, right, and center, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. On the bumper, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. I'm taking it slow. On she bumper slow. Left, right, and center slow. A little faster. I'm taking it slow. On she bumper slow. Left, right, and center slow. A little faster. I'm taking it tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. On the bumper, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Left, right, and center, tick tock.
You're listening to Extreme Soca Footy Life. Extreme Soca.
Hello, yeah, this is Juice. What? You wanna come over? Trying to set fun.
Your waist when I hold you so tight. Baby, you treat me so right. So now we whining. I have you craving. Your waist I rolling. What your we get? My pants and shirt. Your blouse and skirt. My Nike hat. Your lower back. Above my eyes, between your thighs, in so much heat. No wonder you're so wet, mama.
I need a woman by my
Extreme Soca.
cartel and Peter Ram. I need a woman by my Peter Ram. Number one, the bass, rum the land, number one, the bass, rum the land, I'm for the crop over. My Belgian girls, pretty girls, Asian lovely ladies, just stop over.
You're listening to Extreme Soca.
Over 2006. So me I say Barbados. The ladies got me spinning like tornadoes. So me I say a cartel and Peter Ram. I feel the crop over. And all of the Asian lovely ladies just stop over. Them girls are pretty, and they keep me satisfied.
Oh, yeah.
I need a woman by my cartel and Peter Ram. I need a woman by my Peter Ram. Number one, the bass, rum the land,
Extreme Soca.
Asian lovely ladies, just stop over. I need a woman by my side. Down the road, one who can make me realize. Down the road, like I should never lose my pride. Down the road, them girls are pretty, and they keep me satisfied. I need a woman by my side. Down the road, one who can make me realize. Down the road, like I should never lose my pride. Them girls are pretty, and they keep me satisfied. So me I see a cartel and Peter Ram. I feel the crap over, and all of the Asian lovely ladies just stop over, stop over, stop over. Ladies got me spinning like tornadoes. Take a look like power by four. Power by four. Take another look down by bridge. Down by bridge, down by bridge. Eight young girls upon the rampage. Now, check out radical. Check out radical. Be a bacchanal. Be a bacchanal. Be a bacchanal. Be a bacchanal. I need a woman by my side. Down the road, one who can make me realize. Down the road, like I should never lose my pride. Down the road, them girls are pretty, and they keep me satisfied.
You're listening to Extreme Soca.
I want a man with me. Ooh, come here and just work me. Oh Lord, I want a man with me. Ooh, come here and just work me. Work me, baby. I want it up, honey. Come on and just, baby. I love fire, honey.
Oh, yeah, you're listening to Caribbean Rhythms on Wurd 96.1 FM, 900 AM, streaming live on WurdRadio.com. Follow us on social media platforms at OnWord. That rounds out Soca Music Corner. Coming up next, we have our health information segment. Uncommonly Good Foods is coming away momentarily, right after these words.
Be heard. Want another way to join the conversation?
Follow us on social media
using the hashtag OnWord.
Be heard.
Stay connected to Wurd Radio.
Independent Black Media.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen. For late nights writing English papers.
For your teen's music taste.
For dinners, where they talk more on their phone than with you.
For the first time, they call you Mom.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen, and you can't imagine the reward.
To learn more about adopting a teen, visit adoptuskids.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Hello, everybody. Every Saturday night around this time.